Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome. Welcome one and all. I am very, very grateful that you've joined me today on this beautiful, magical day on our existence that we are creating here for ourselves. And that is such a beautiful thing that we have that power. We have this incredible power within us that we are all born with. And it's so fun to use it in different ways every day. One of the ways I used my power today was actually last night. I decided I wanted to wake up early today. And so I set for myself an internal alarm clock. I don't like to wake up to an alarm clock. I find it a bit disturbing. I like to wake up naturally. And so I've practiced throughout the years just telling myself what time I want to wake up in the morning. And I just say that before I go to bed. All right, I want to wake up at this time. And inevitably, I wake up at that time. So that's exactly what I did this morning. And I always find it so much fun. This is how powerful we are. And I think the concept of our power is super important nowadays. And we've been talking about it a lot because I find it incredibly important right now that we all find our inner power and harness it and use it for the benefit of ourselves and for the whole. The power of love, the power of compassion, the power of gratitude. These are our greatest powers, and they exist within all of us. And one of the best ways that we can empower ourselves is by looking at all of ourselves. And by all of ourselves, that means the dark and the light sides of ourselves. We are dualistic beings. We live in this illusion here on Earth that is created for our learning experience. And within this contrast is how we learn. And if we didn't have these two aspects of ourselves, we wouldn't be what we are. We wouldn't be able to learn. We would be in complete unison and love back at Creator Source, not learning much, because we see it all. We understand that everything is love. So we come here to experience both the light and the dark within ourselves. And when we can understand those aspects within ourselves, truly accept them within ourselves, that is where our power is. That's when we truly become super powerful. Powerful in the sense that we know that we are love, that is what we are created from. And all of this darkness, all the dark sides of us, that's love too. And when we can accept that and truly own it, we become unstoppable. And so I want to talk today about our shadows, because we often want to ignore them. They're that hidden creature in the closet that nobody wants to talk about. Because society says, ooh, I don't know if I accept that within you. I don't know if I'm going to like you if I see that side of you, right? And so we keep it hidden because we want to be liked, and we want everyone to, think that we're good people. But we are. But we think that if we show those darker aspects of ourselves, then maybe people won't like us as much. Well, that's not true. We all have these aspects within ourselves. Every single one of us here has a dark, devilish side. And the more we can say, yeah, I have this side of myself. Like I can say to myself, I can be a super bitch sometimes. Like push me too hard and I will turn into a super bitch. That is my shadow side. And I can own it. And that's okay. I accept that side of myself. I understand that side of myself. And when I accept it and understand it, then I can work on balancing it. And that is the whole point. Because you can't balance it unless you look at it, understand it, and accept it. Balancing it is the whole point. That's why we're here. We're here trying to learn through all these experiences how to balance it out and to come back to the understanding that it's all love. That all of this is just an illusion created for our learning experience. And that's so beautiful because we are the ones who are creating it. We have the power. So when we can see our lives as this reflection of our insides and really work with that and use the illusion to help us in our growth and our learning process, then we really understand the game of life, the illusion of life.
Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a moment to tell you a little bit about my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. The concept for the book initially came to me in a dream and has been followed by a next level amount of synchronicity, confirming for me that the information in the book is pertinent to get to the world at this moment in our collective evolution. In the book, I share the 8 keys to manifesting abundance that I've personally discovered over 25 years of trial, error, and deep exploration, including one golden key that ultimately ties them all together. I think most of you will agree with me that talk is a bit cheap, especially these days, and results speak the loudest of all. Well, these keys have led me to manifesting incredible results, such as an Inc. fastest growing private company, uncanny health, incredible relationships, and success with this podcast. However, I'm not any more special than you, and anyone can apply this information to achieve incredible results in their own life. I also believe waking up our planet by sharing these keys to abundance is the quickest way to help us to transition our home into the planet of paradise it is destined to become, which is why I'd like to gift the book to you at goldenkey.gift when you use the golden key code POSITIVEHEAD. I would also like to invite you to create your own unique golden key code so you in turn can gift the book to others, as well as invite you to participate in a unique abundance manifestation game with me and the other readers that is outlined in detail at the end of the book and on the website, where readers are also going to share the inspiring results of their abundance manifestation experiments. Lastly, I'm going to practice what I preach by sharing 50% of the abundance generated from the golden game and sale of the other golden goodies on the website with you and all the other readers. So if you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD. Also, if you end up loving and appreciating your gifted copy of the book, please take a moment to go to Amazon and give it a review, which will greatly help me reach and unlock more hearts with the golden key.
There's this really wonderful quote in the Law of One that explains this game of life, this illusion of life, and why it kind of has to be this way. Because, like I said before, when we are at source, everything is just complete and total love. We don't really learn much. So we have to come here to experience all the contrast. And we have to forget. Because if we didn't forget, it wouldn't be a learning experience. It wouldn't have the energetic magnitude. It wouldn't have the power behind it. It wouldn't have that aha behind it, right? That you get within yourself. That is so powerful. So here's what the Law of One says about this. They make the analogy that life is like a long poker game, the longest poker game that you can imagine, your lifetime. The cards of this game are love, dislike, limitation, unhappiness, pleasure, etc. They are dealt and redealt continuously. You may, during this incarnation, begin, and we stress begin, to know your own cards. You may begin to find the love within you. You may begin to balance your pleasure, your limitations, etc. However, your only indication of other selves' cards is to look into the eyes. You cannot remember their hand, your hand, perhaps even the rules of the game. This game can only be won by those who lose their cards in the melting influence of love, can only be won by those who lay their pleasures, their limitations, their all upon the table face up and say inwardly, all of you players, each other self, whatever your hand, I love you. This is the game. To know, to accept, to forgive, to balance, and to open the self in love. This cannot be done without the forgetting, for it would carry no weight in the life of the mind, body, spirit, beingness, totality. And that is what this is all about. Our mind, body, spirit, totality. That's the reality. Our grand existence, our infinitum. This existence that we are living here is a very, very small, minuscule portion of it. All existing now, because time is an illusion. Everything truly happens simultaneously. And so, the point of this illusion is to understand all about ourselves. Every single thing in our infinitum that we possibly could. And so when we understand that we can use this illusion to help us to grow, it definitely changes. And we can see ourselves now when we decide this and to use this to benefit us, that we can grow at a very rapid rate. We will evolve, our vibration increases because we are doing this. Because we are seeing the mirrors out there and understanding, oh, this is me. All of this is me, and I love it. I love me, and I love you. No matter how pretty or how ugly, it's all me, and I accept it, and I love it. A big thing that has been coming up here and elsewhere, a lot of people have been talking about lately, this concept of radical honesty or radical authenticity, radical vulnerability. And what's so beautiful about that is this is true shadow work. Being just radically honest with yourself about who you are. And what's great about the word radical is it just reminds me of radiance, radiating who you truly are. All the good, all the bad, and truly accepting it. That then, in that acceptance, there is so much love that all you can do is radiate that. In that acceptance, accepting your completeness. And here's the really cool thing about shadows. The shadow is only as strong as the light that is shining upon it, right? And so if you think you have this really strong shadow aspect side, what's awesome about that is that the corresponding light to that is just as strong. And it has to be because this universe exists in homeostasis. It is always keeping itself in balance. That means that your light side and your dark side is always in balance. You may not always think so, but the universe is making sure that that is the case. And so if you have a very strong dark side, then that means that your light side is correspondingly just as strong. And when we can accept both of those sides of ourselves truly and not choose to pick a side. See, because when we pick a side, then we kind of contribute to further energy blockages there because we're saying one's okay and one's not. And there is no good, there is no bad. There is no one better than you. There is no one less than you. Hot and cold are just varying degrees of one thing, temperature, right? Same thing here. All one thing, just differences, varying degrees. And if you choose one, then you're not choosing another, right? And leaving one out and creating separation. And that's what creates blockages and distortions. And so the acceptance is so important. When we can accept these things within ourselves, then we can not judge them and not judge them within ourselves and not judge them in others. That's a really big thing. When you start to see yourself really judging things, this is how we can work with this in such beautiful ways. Catch yourself in those moments of judgment and stop and take it within and say, where is this a part of me? And where can I accept this and understand this within myself? And where can I bring love and understanding and compassion into my thoughts and my awareness and my perceptions of this situation? It is my responsibility to be able to make that choice. And in every moment, make those choices to accept it, to learn from it, and to find the love in it. And the more we do that, the less and less we will find ourselves in situations where we're being confronted with having to do this, right? Because we've learned. So as we learn, we don't need the lesson. And that just makes sense, right? And so if we still need to learn, we will still see it in our lives. And that is so beautiful because we will always be checked. The universe won't allow us to just sit on our ass and just go through this life willy-nilly and not learn anything. We are here for a purpose, and if we're not doing it, we are going to get smacked around a little bit. And that's a good thing because it tells us that we are not doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're not on the right path, and we need to be looking at something differently. So it is so super important that we look at all of our completeness and accept ourselves for who we truly are. Being honest with ourselves, being honest with others, being vulnerable. That's a big one. That's where strength really is. Being able to just say, hey, you know what? This is who I am. Take it or leave it. That is so powerful. Doesn't that feel good? This is who I am. Take it or leave it. I'm making this choice to be me. And if you don't like it, that's okay. Because I don't need to be liked by you. I don't need to be I don't need anybody else's approval. I don't need it. Even though I feel like I do, there's this fear within me that says, oh, I'll be ostracized and no one will be around and I'll be alone. That is never true. There is always tribe. You will find your people regardless. And you will enjoy your tribe a whole lot more when you are truly being authentic with who you are. So there is no more time and space in this reality for hiding our shadows, for hiding ourselves, our true selves, from ourselves and from others. These things are only scary to us because they hide in the shadow, in the unknown. And there's no reason to be afraid of them because fear is just an illusion. Just as this whole thing is just an illusion, the fear is just here to teach us. And so there is nothing to fear. We can just face it head on, take a good look at it, and say, I see you. And it's okay. I accept you. And I love you. And that is so powerful. We all have this power within us. Own it. It is what you are. It is your birthright. I love you all so much. I'm going to leave you with this song for today. This is Trevor Hall, The Fruitful Darkness. Until next time, I love you all.
Also, quickly, before we cue up today's song, I wanted to remind you to download the Golden Key, audio or ebook, as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the code POSITIVEHEAD. I also wanted to remind you that I will now be doing a live Q&A every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time on the new social audio app Clubhouse. I have really been wanting to connect and interact with all of you more for quite some time, and I'm super excited to now have 2 new ways to do it. First, if you're already on Clubhouse, be sure to follow me and click the little bell on my profile and select to always be notified when I go live on the Clubhouse app. And if you'd like to connect on an even more intimate Zoom gathering once a month, now you can do that too by registering at goldenkey.gift.
Internet to find my way through. I had to find my way through. I had to find my way through. The fruitful darkness is all around us in bloom.
Infinite calm, crystal clear.
Open wide, the dark within my dog is where